Maybe they do, but Sam, when you think about that aura, you think about gunshots. And when you think about gunshots, you think about gang shotty for bum shots. Yeah, killing me. What does he say after that?
I don't know.
Your waist got me in a headlock. Yeah,
Your waist got me in a headlock. Rema is just saying anything on tracks just because he says it in a cool Indian way. He thinks that we're rocking with it. I'm seeing past some of those lyrics.
Gunshotty for bum shots. Yeah,
Rema says some wild
sorry,
stuff.
Guys,
and so.
I'm so sorry. Yo, what's up and welcome to episode 49 of the 30% podcast hosted by yours truly, Afam, and my amazing, talented, and yours truly, Sam. Sam, what's up?
Yours falsely. I've been going by yours falsely now, and I think it has a more villain sound to it. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
I can tell you what's going on. You guys are listening to the 30% podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor Podcasts, and on Google Podcasts, which is gonna be obsolete in a few weeks.
We don't know. Is it confirmed?
We don't really know, but there's impending
spreading false news.
Waiting.
Impending doom.
And you guys can also find us in real life. You can actually find us in real life.
In person. Imagine that.
Yeah. You can talk to us in person. And you can also find us on Instagram, on Twitter, and LinkedIn. And are we on any other social media platforms? On X as well. Yep. I don't really recognize X as X. It's Twitter. Twitter. You can find us there, the 30% pod on all of those platforms.
Yeah.
Sam,
Also, before we go on.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, so for maybe the newer listeners, so on this podcast, we talk about the Kenyan music. Well, we talk about the music industry, really, not just Kenyan music, but then we focus on most of the time we focus on the Kenyan industry and the ins and outs and the seriousness and the unseriousness of it. So if any of you out there who enjoy the podcast feel as though you know a person who would benefit from these conversations, who is into talks about the Kenyan industry, if you're having those talks with different people, just share it with them. That would be cool. Help us grow, and we will help you grow as well.
Yeah, what Sam said, because it's true.
Wow. Okay, just throw what I said to the side. Don't ever do that, man. That's rude.
No.
Why are you being rude?
No.
What
Sam said is true. Like, listen, guys, we do talk about. I don't.
No, it was your tone. It was your tone. I don't like your tone.
Oh.
I don't like your tone, sir.
Oh wow.
I'm joking. Okay, playing with you.
Fine.
Wow, look how quick you turned into a victim. Oh wow. Okay, guys.
Let me fix my tone up. But Sam, I was actually going to ask you how your week is.
How my week
has been.
It's been cool, man. Honestly, it's been all right. Just being creative. Planning some things. I've been reaching out to artists a lot because I'm trying to get something going. So yeah, we're getting positive.
Nice.
Positive. What do you call it? Positive interactions, I should say.
Oh,
yeah. Not necessarily feedback, but positive interactions. So I'm really hoping it goes somewhere. If it does, y'all are going to start seeing my name everywhere, which is good because it's good for business. But yeah, that's that. Afam, how are you? Oh, Afam, yo, there's something special happened. Do you want to talk about that this week, sir?
Yeah. I released.
Why did my voice go high like that?
I have no idea. I released a song last week on Friday. It's called Dystopia. It's a drum and bass. Some people would call it breakcore. Whatever the case, it's really dope. Well, yeah, I'm
Bro is myself. Not it's really selling dope. His music at all, Mister. None of it was real. Fam, you've ruined. I'll be honest with you. You've ruined that statement for me. Like now, whenever I watch anything and they say that, I realize how many times people say that in film and shows and YouTube. Like anytime someone says none of it was real, I'm like, oh, there goes Afam.
Yeah. But I can't take all the credit for that. That is something that also came from Foster. Foster is actually the guy who came up with that. For those of you who don't know, I manage this artist called Foster Nix.
Wow, this guy does everything.
Foster Nix on everything. Yeah. But Anyway, I released a song. It's called Dystopia. I haven't released music in a minute.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I've decided it's time for me to, start releasing stuff and just having fun with this music thing.
I don't know if I can talk about this, but me and Afam made a pact a while ago to release music, and he's currently beating me to it. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh yeah. Actually,
I can't believe he released music before me. Honestly, it's
because. First of all, it's your fault because Sam was at the studio and then I was playing him a bunch of my drum and bass stuff, and then Sam was like, "Yo, you need to release this stuff," and then I was like, "For real?" And I was like, "Yeah," and then
he proceeded to release it.
Then I just did it. Yeah. So listen, we're gonna be releasing. I'm gonna be releasing music every month till the end of the year. So you guys, if you like drum and bass and breakcore, will be well fed.
Well fed. Big bellies. Big bellies we're talking about here. Big bellies. Courtesy of Afam.
Bellies. I was gonna say speaking of big bellies, but
there's nothing to link that to. Thank God.
You're so lucky.
Speaking of big bellies, Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Wait, no, that works
Sam.
though. That works.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. Speaking of big bellies, which happens when you drink a lot of alcohol, and alcohol, Tusker, Oktoberfest, there's the link. Oh my God, Sam, how did I not see that?
Yeah.
How did I not see that?
You're slacking.
I'm slacking. I'm losing my touch, man.
You're losing your edge.
I'm losing my touch. Yeah. But anyway, the biggest thing in the music industry that's been happening, in the Kenyan music industry is it's the Oktoberfest, and Sam and I, very professional as we are, didn't go for either of them.
Nope. Wait, there's more than one. There's Saturday and Sunday.
It was on 2 days. It was Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if there's more. Honestly, we're so bad. When it comes to live stuff, we're so bad, Sam.
And here we are talking about the music industry. But we don't have to go to shows to be able to talk about these things. Plus, I
want to say congratulations. Yeah, we can talk about it like, this is me contradicting my whole critique point of view. Anyway, I wanted to say congratulations to. There are a few names I saw that were included on the set lists. Obviously, Ethan Muziki and Kinoti, I think they performed on Sunday. And then on Saturday, I believe I saw Sabiwu, I saw Corbs, I think Maya Molo. I don't know if she was on Saturday or Sunday. Those are a few names I saw that was pretty cool. It's like, the youngins in the music industry are beginning to like be recognized for these like type of events, and I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to those guys.
Shout out. That's dope.
But yeah, Sam, I didn't. I to be honest, I didn't pay too much attention. I know there was the whole thing with Diamond headlining
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. I think he's headlined on Saturday, and there was this whole thing where like I saw somebody saying, "Oh yeah, that's why Nyashinsky didn't perform on Saturday, but instead wanted to do it on Sunday because Nyashinsky has this whole thing about not wanting to open up for people and having to be the main whatever." I saw that discourse on the internet. Found that interesting, mildly interesting.
Did he headline Sunday?
I think I think that's the. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he did. But I'm pretty sure he performed on Sunday and he brought out a bunch of guys. Which
they were saying he brought out everyone.
Pretty cool.
Kleptomaniacs. Sauti Soul. Speaking of Kleptomaniacs, I've been following Kolo. Kolo was like a third of Kleptomaniacs, and he was doing a couple of days ago. He had a live where he was going through his catalog up until now. He was counting backwards, and that was just a blast from the past.
Yeah.
It was really cool watching him.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, watching him break down those songs and give stories. It's always good to hear stories about that. So shout out to the man, Kolo.
Sam.
Yeah. Want to read some tweets?
Bomb shotty from gunshots. Yeah, killing me.
What's this guy doing? What's this guy doing?
Sorry.
Everyone has left. They're all gone now.
Sam, when I say bomb shotty from gunshots,
I will not be replying to any of that.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Bomb shotty from gunshots.
I will not be replying to that, Afam. I'm not about to do. Are we really doing? Are we really doing Rema karaoke?
I know for the people listening, this is so random. Like, what's wrong? But this is how my brain
Afam
works. Sometimes I just remember things.
Afam has been overplaying that EP. I've played it a lot of times.
So much. But anyway, I'm sorry. This is me. Sorry, this is me just derailing things. So the main conversation we kind of wanted to tackle for this podcast was, so there's been a lot of, and this is my favorite word, discourse on the social medias. There's been a lot of people talking about wakadinali. I actually woke up to them trending. And I was like, why are wakadinali trending? And so there's this popular Twitter individual called Carlton Kideka, Post Carlone on Twitter. And he's kind of spurred a conversation about wakadinali and their brand. So he tweeted Scam Cardinali, who tweeted about them being like 1,000 or 500 people on the stage, just doing their, wakadinali rongrende stuff. Mobbing around and stuff like that. And Carlton wasn't too impressed. He was
he wasn't too pleased.
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased because I feel like his perspective is that these guys are
goons,
kind of unprofessional, I guess. Yeah, I think that's this.
I said goons.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
They're goons.
Well, yeah, I think that's his perspective. Wait, I'm looking for what he said in particular. He was like, he said, hold up.
We've talked about them before.
We
talked about wakadinali.
We did. We had a whole podcast about them before, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, when they were getting
it was kind of a similar
discussion. Yeah, when they're getting killed by a Nigerian promoter. Well, not killed, but flamed by a Nigerian promoter.
That Nigerian promoter really killed them, bro, like in his stories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Carlton says, sometimes, so he quotes Scam Cardinali's tweet and he says, sometimes I wonder how big wakadinali would have been if they just keep it professional. Now, I was just looking at the responses to that tweet, and somebody was like, the most professional artist in Kenya is Calligraph. See how far he's gone, followed by Nyashinsky and Breeder. Wakadinali, if they don't restructure and change either drugs, or like the fans will stop coming to their shows. Somebody else said if they diversify their genre, they can go international. Somebody said, yo, brand yao ni rongrende. Like, that's their target audience. Like, why is Carlton, like, essentially saying that they should be more professional? So Carlton then continues to tweet, and he's kind of like, he's kind of like, let's see, the beauty of life is time always tells. So he was responding to somebody else who was kind of talking about Rongrende being their brand. He was like, there's a reason why, so this is Carlton now, there's a reason why Calligraph Jones and Nyashinsky are swimming in endorsement deals and headlining almost all major shows. Kenyan music doesn't pay. Watakuwa famous, na wako broke. And we saw it with Gengeton. Harsh words from Carlton. And then he continues to say, you people don't remember Nonini saying his lyrics used to cost him so many endorsement deals while Jua Kali was getting hella paid. Wakadinali Juicy too were tripping because they didn't get picked for Coke Studio. You think Coke would associate themselves with artists like that? That's harsh, man. That's really harsh.
But that's facts.
And then what else did he say? how can you be someone's fan and not want them to win? We also what Magic's anger is going through right now. The music business is cruel. I urge you to watch artist interviews. That'll broaden your thinking.
That must be
talked about NW.
That must be terrible to be used as an example. Magic's anger just catching strays for just.
I know, like bro, Magic's anger was living his life peacefully.
Why am I the example of what's bad in the industry? Like.
Okay, so man. Carlton has said his piece, and his piece is essentially that I think Carlton is team. You guys have to move smartly in the industry. Yeah, you need to secure the bag.
I'm with him on that. I'm with him on that for sure. With him on that for sure.
Why?
I mean, it's evolution, right? So artists go through evolution in order to curate their careers, and even the ones who seem to be the same. I mean, let me not say that. The ones who seem to be more raw, right? So we have like artists who are very polished and all that. Then we have artists who are very raw in terms of their delivery and their message and everything. Even the rawer. Is that proper English? More raw artists, they go through evolutions. One of the biggest, I would feel, examples for me, and I don't know if you're going to disagree with this, but one of the biggest examples of that would be J. Cole, where he when he came in, it was more of like a raw delivery with his first mixtapes, and he's gone through an evolution, but he still maintains that feel, that rawness. But he's changed though. Right, as he grows,
he has changed.
As he evolves, he's changing. I think wakadinali might have been around for a long time, and I get what
Carlton.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What's his name? Carlton? I don't want to get it wrong. Carlton. I get what he's saying because it's
just call him Carlton.
And maybe he's just looking out for these guys. Like they're talking about the hood and still maintaining that big, that image. But at what point do you as a group decide, okay, I'm not going to necessarily change myself. We're not going to change our we came from where we came from, right? The music is birthed out of what we are, right? But those stories are going to remain. Maybe what we need to do is figure out how to change the delivery of it so that it's more accepted. It's able to scale. That's number one. Number two, corporates are the money holders are able to look at you and say, okay. I mean, we might not necessarily agree with the message, but we agree with maybe how they're delivering it is a lot softer. That might feel bad for them as an artist because, again, when you come from the hood, you want to really maintain that. But I think in terms of growth, listen, growth, you'll have to be uncomfortable, and maybe them switching up seems like a very uncomfortable thing for them. They feel like they're going against their values, their brand. But that's what growth is you might have to change up some things and maybe hold some things a little looser. Yeah. A little more loosely, pun intended.
Very loosely, some might say.
Very loosely, some might say. And still,
some might say.
Pun wow, that's like pun on pun on pun.
Oh my god, the layers, bro.
We're the only one who knows what's happening, so you better get it. It's like an inside joke. So,
the other people are just late to the party.
Yeah. Right. Let's get back on track now. So they might need to hold some things a lot loose. That doesn't mean you give up who you are. I just think like you can evolve your delivery. I think delivery for me would be one of the main things in how you deliver the message. Now, not just the way you're rapping on music and everything, but then just how you deliver your idea, how you deliver your, yeah. I don't even make sense.
Sam, you are making sense, but it's just like I understand the perspective of an artist, man. You want to maintain your authenticity. Yeah. And it's doable. I feel like we've seen a bunch of artists like remain authentic to what put them on. And I think the biggest fear is like if I now switch up, I'm now making music that's corporate friendly, and the corporates are gonna see value in investing in me now. Like, is that gonna maintain the essence of why people were interested in me in the first place? And I guess that's a crossroad every artist is some artists start out of the box being super PC, but like I feel like that's a crossroad that a lot of artists are gonna face. And I get the fact that at the end of the day, you have to be looking out for the endorsements, the brand deals, and all that type of stuff, because at the end of the day, you have to make some money off of this music stuff. Otherwise, it's not sustainable.
Well,
you know what I mean? But
not to cut you off. I don't think it's just the money that's the issue too, right? I think just within the music industry, if you want to get more fans, because you do what you're doing and you're comfortable with that, you create a comfortable number. Now, for you to break out of that number, you need to do new things. So, which is maybe what Carlton is talking about. Like, you need to do new things to be able to break out of the number that you are, the amount of money you get for shows, the amount of this. Once you break out of that, when you grow past your comfortability level currently, then it opens you up to newer fans. It opens you up to the corporates. It opens you up to all of that business.
For me, it's so me personally, and maybe this is idealistic, I think we've seen it work for a few people who come out of like very, very like difficult situations, but still manage to thrive. A lot of people in that conversation were talking about 50 Cent and how he came from his tough background.
Yeah.
But even now you look at 50 Cent, he's still the gangster guy. Obviously he's changed. I'm pretty sure he's not going back to the hood and stunting on the hood people. Yeah. I'm sure he's living in a whatever. But
have you seen 50 Cent online? He's not doing that at all.
No, 50 Cent is online all the time, bro. Clowning people.
Oh, he has to take his phone.
Somebody really does need to take his phone. But anyway, we've seen it work for certain people like that. The Chief Keefs, maybe Chief Keefs. Well, I don't know. This Chief Keef, he's still successful. He was recently featured on the Drake album. We know Chief Keef to be somebody who's come from Chirac or Chicago.
Yeah.
But like, there's examples of people. You know, we have the NBA young boys. Yeah. We have the NLE Choppers, we have the Kodaks, we have all these guys who have that, like, the similarity they have with Wakadinali is like they're raw, they're gritty, they're authentic.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's like UK grime, the UK rap scene.
There's the UK grime guys as well. The drill guys and stuff.
I think one
like
of the
K-Trap and all those guys.
One of the difference between them and Wakadinali, like a lot of people you mentioned, fine, that's the story. But I think a lot of those people have had teams to properly curate that image.
Okay, now
because
stop.
Of the money.
Stop there. Because that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I feel like where I disagree with Carlton, or kind of where I kind of diverge, is you have to have a team to be the buffer, like, or kind of like have like a different, like, be able to curate a different image for you to the corporate people. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, I don't want Wakadinali to lose their authenticity. I don't want them to start making music that's
they stop being Wakadinali. Yeah, they stop being Wakadinali.
Yeah, then they stop being Wakadinali. They start being the Cardinals. So, listen.
the Cardinals.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, Sam, I think for now, if you're a person in the industry, you're a manager, you're an A&R, you're whatever. If you encounter a group or just an artist, an individual who is from a rougher background, they're more raw, they're more authentic, they're not polished or whatever like that. For me personally, your goal should be to find a way to be the buffer between them and their goals. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe their goals are like, I wanna be a brand ambassador for this and that. There's ways to figure out how to do that without changing the core lifeblood of what this artist is. Yeah. So you need a great team around you that can maneuver these streets, these corporate streets, these PC streets for you. You need that. Obviously, you're not gonna rely on your fellow hood guy to represent you because they're gonna probably have the same values.
But people do that. The people hire their boys to be their managers and their PR guys.
Yeah, when you start out. And when you start out, that's fine. But if you really want to scale, like now if wakadinali want to scale, and to be honest, I don't really know too much about their management situation, etc. But I'm just saying, I think it's genuinely, I don't think it's a limiting factor. Like, I think you can figure out a way to still maintain your authenticity and still have a good
the industry is brutal
reputation.
Though. The industry at some point the industry is going to ask you the question.
But Sam, I mean, I feel like there's so many artists who switch up from what their core is.
Yeah.
And people hate that and they fall off after that. So it's not always like the thing isn't like all the time when you see an opportunity to be more corporate friendly, it always works out. It doesn't always work out for artists, you know what I mean?
And it also doesn't always pay.
It doesn't always,
in whatever way,
and it might pay, but it might really it might really affect your longevity.
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like it doesn't always pay. Like it's not always a positive outcome, which is I guess what I'm. Yeah, it doesn't always work out. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
For me personally, I see Carlton's point of view. I feel like he's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
I know their music and just the way they move is a little bit raw, and for some people it might be like, we want to see like some evolution and stuff, and that's fine. That's fair. I don't mind there being some evolution, but I would really hate for them to lose their core essence.
But what do the Kenyan people really want? That's the thing. We've had the whole genge tone, and it's really raw and very very like to the streets, like, and that
and now the new thing is urban tone.
Yeah, flared up and flared out immediately.
But I don't think Kenyans had a say in how genge tone went, because from the conversations I've had with people, I feel like there was also a very concerted effort to kind of stifle genge tone's success.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I feel like the powers that be didn't really like the messaging around genge tone and all that type of stuff. The same powers that be
that might not necessarily be rocking with wakadinali's stock.
That's
or whoever
also
who
true,
might be super raw, super street, super hood and everything. The powers that be, man. But they're the powers that be. So your job is to
be the powers, bro.
Your job is to but see, I don't even fully believe what I'm saying. That's a problem. I was going to say your job is to appease the powers that be and until you get until you get enough power of your own, and then now you can finesse. But I don't even believe what I'm saying myself, so I won't even say that. Shout out to them, man. Prayers to everyone involved.
Prayers to everyone involved always. I mean, I guess maybe it's a bit like of a cop-out, but I'm also on the fence a little bit, like, because I do.
Stay over there. Don't come this side. No, stay over there. Stay guys. We don't need you here.
I can't even. Okay, fine.
Stay on that side.
From where I sit, oh no.
He's just going to change it and say from where I sit. Sitting on the fence is fire. You see? This is what I was saying a couple of episodes back. Yeah, sitting on the fence is cool.
But like, I just think what you're saying is true, but like, I don't want artists to start just selling out and making.
Yeah, both things could be true. I think and it depends. Ultimately, depends on what kind of career they want for themselves. So if you're cool, if your identity is in the 100 guys on stage with masks on and everything, and that for you is your ultimate creativity. I mean, your ultimate, not creativity, your goal, and that's like the image you want to portray, and you're 100% fine with that. Then I think in that sense, I'm on your side. Like I
think
crazy.
For an artist, what you need is just a good team. For Drake, like example, and somebody I said I wouldn't talk about, but for Drake, it's like the opposite. Because Drake comes from a very clean cut, like he was an actor. I mean, I
don't believe Drake when he starts talking about I have shooters. That's all.
But he does though. And I feel like for Drake, it's the opposite. So I feel like for an artist, for an artist, what it is, you need to surround yourself with the people who can help you thrive in the spaces that you want to penetrate. Right? So for Drake, for example, he has people like Chubbs, who is the head of his security. Really nice title for other stuff.
I was literally just thinking about that. When someone says Chubbs, I think of a brown teddy bear. That's what I think about. I don't be thinking about a guy protecting the biggest artist of our generation currently. No, that's Kanye West.
Chubbs is a scary guy. But listen, scary hours. But like, yeah, so Drake will have those type of people, J Prince Jr., all those type of people around him to kind of give him credibility in the spaces where Drake himself is not as credible, because Drake comes from a very sheltered, very nice lifestyle.
But how will I take you? I won't take you seriously if your team is the one telling me that they're hood. Like, I'll take them seriously.
Yes, you will.
I'll take you seriously.
No, yes, you will, because me being that's why we took 6ix9ine seriously at the beginning of his career, when he was hanging out with I forget his name, but the Bloods over there. I forgot the name. What was the name of his manager at the time? The guy who's in jail. I can't remember his name. But that's why we took 6ix9ine seriously at the time. When he released Gamo and all that type of stuff, we were like fully invested. We were like, bro, this guy has the ties. You know, Gamo, you can see all the Bloods and all the whatever. It's like, bro, he's really affiliated and he's making this hard music. The picture that was painted to us was
you couldn't see through that though. Like, you couldn't look at 6ix9ine and say, bro, you're not this.
I'm not gonna. I you know what? I don't wanna be hypocritical and say at the time I did. Yeah. Now looking back, I can say, okay, fine, it was weird. But at the time, me, I was like everyone else. I was like, this is hard. I mean, it's a kid with rainbow hair and he's here and whatever. Like, this is kind of hard. I love the contrast. I loved the contrast at the time.
Honestly, that might have been what did it for me, is the rainbow hair. I was like, this guy can't be so hard.
But Sam. The rainbow hair was hard. But Sam, just to get to my point, conversely now, with Wakadinali, they need to do the opposite. They need to surround themselves with a team who we don't even really need to be privy to, who can now give them credibility in spaces where you would think, oh, we're not really too into like the gang stuff and whatever. They need to surround themselves with those people who will give them credibility in those spaces, and they themselves wouldn't have to change too much from what they are. Because that's what people like Drake have done. They've surrounded themselves with people who give them credibility in spaces where it's gangs, it's the tough whatever, and that in a way bleeds into Drake's art, and he has the luxury to kind of talk about like mob ties and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like Wakadinali, all they need is a team to give them that buffer and be able to represent them in this specific way to these corporates and stuff. And I think it's doable. You just need somebody who's really, really smart, really, really, who has really, really good acumen and can just kind of argue for you guys. And I think that argument kind of breaks down at that point. I think these brands, like, as long as you're not saying like some really, really outlandish stuff, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the outlandish things.
That might be what they want to talk about too.
Some of the Gengeton people were saying. I don't think so, because I haven't really heard, but like some of the Gengeton guys were saying some crazy stuff, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think the brands, bro, like if you're getting the numbers, you're getting me the attention. The brands aren't opposed to working with people. It's just how do you argue and how do you present yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I hope.
Prayers to everyone involved.
Oh, man. Yeah, being an artist is difficult. It's a career.
Being an artist.
Maybe they should take your advice. Should they hire you for that?
They could, because...
All right, let's
bro, imagine me in a room with just Wakadinali, bro. I don't know, with all the
squad. I don't know why. Maybe,
and you know what,
maybe,
Sam, Wakadinali, bro, those guys are tough gang people. Yeah. Well, not gang, but like, you know, they have that kind of aura.
But
and you know, when you think about that aura... Maybe they do, but Sam, when you think about that aura, you think about gunshots. And when you think about gunshots, you think about gunshots for bump shots. Yeah, killing me. What does he say after that?
I don't know. Afam.
Your waist got me in a headlock. Yeah,
Your waist got me in a headlock. Rema is just saying anything on tracks just because he says it in a cool Indian way. He thinks that we're rocking with it. I'm seeing past some of those lyrics.
Gunshot for bump shots. Yeah,
Rema says some wild
sorry,
stuff
guys,
on songs.
I'm so sorry. He does.
Some
He does.
wild stuff on songs. Anyway.
Speaking of Rema, who I learned recently is distributed by Universal Music, which is great. He is doing very well on a platform called Spotify. And Sam, there's big news about Spotify. Do you want to break the news?
I don't know how to help you, man. I don't know how to help you. Yeah, so
that was a great correlation.
yeah,
Please.
It was. So Spotify. Let me pull it up. I don't want to go off my memory. Spotify
created by Daniel Ek.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Sound like an ad. Anyway, so Spotify recently I don't know why I'm not finding anything. They recently sorry, give me a second.
Well, they're changing their payout. While you find the article,
no.
they're
Let
changing
me
their
intro it.
payout.
I just need to find the article, man. What's wrong? What's wrong with you, dog? Why are you doing this? I give you time to find your articles. Can you give me time to find my articles?
Me, I always have my articles pulled up. If you want to get into the podcast beef, bro, listen, I'm here.
I always have my articles pulled up.
I always have my shit pulled up,
Spotify. I'm doing the la, can't hear you, la. So yeah, Spotify, I mean, recently they shocked the world. Spotify came out with news that had everyone up in arms and ready to carry pitchforks and march down to where the headquarters? Sweden.
Yes.
Yeah, march down to Sweden. We'll march down to Sweden from wherever we are. That's going to be a long march. Yeah, so it's not confirmed, okay? It's still rumors.
It's confirmed.
Is it confirmed? No.
Yeah, it's happening Q1 next year.
Did they confirm it? I saw that they're still thinking about it from the different news sources. But
okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so let me what we're talking about. So Spotify decided that they're changing their royalty model. Royalties is what artists earn whenever their music is streamed or played or whatever, right?
Yes.
So
indeed,
they actually are making three changes. Of course, the biggest one is what affects the artist. But the first change would be they're fining labels for fraudulent activity, although I don't know why that's a change. They should have been doing that since. So there's a lot of, if you don't know the music industry, there's a lot of fraud going on. People are faking streams and all that
farms
business.
And all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two I found very interesting. So all this ASMR, sleep with rain, this noise sounds and all this business. Those guys are clever. So what those guys did was there's some that have shortened their it's called the noise tracks, right? So they've shortened it. And so that
I find it so disrespectful that it's called noise tracks. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's wild. So they've shortened it. So that increases your because Spotify counts a stream after 30 seconds? So some of them are making their songs like 31 seconds so that you just keep streaming it over and over and over and over again. So you just keep it on loop as you're sleeping. And that generates a lot of money. So they're increasing the length of time, basically increasing the threshold so that I guess there'll be less of that going on. And then the third one now is Spotify is they're going to adopt what is, I think that's like the YouTube model. Like, you know how YouTube says you can't, get AdSense until 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, I think.
Yeah, until you reach a certain threshold.
Yes, until you reach it. So Spotify essentially is doing that.
Yeah.
Again, to curb, I think it's in line with the first changes, to curb this, because there's a lot of people who are using that to finesse the system. So essentially they're raising the bar for your music has to be streamed a number of times before we pay you. Now, of course, creators are not going to agree with that.
The rumor is that that number is 200 streams annually.
Yeah, 200. But yeah, I mean, we say that's small, obviously, but there's probably people who don't.
Me personally, I think it's like you can get 200 streams.
You can stream your song.
But go ahead, Sam.
But
go
yeah,
ahead,
so
go ahead, Sam, yeah.
And some of the feedback is that, I mean, of course, there's already a negative view of Spotify and some of the bigger, because of course
players,
the whole streaming thing. But I'm looking at it from I thought about it a lot, and I'm looking at it from Spotify's angle. They say that you upload. There's 60 to 100 tags, which is a lie, by the way. It's not true.
It's 100,000.
That's not true. It's a lot less than that. Spotify playing around.
You think
with
so?
this. Yeah.
You think it's less? It's less numbers than 100,000
I went
a
on
day.
a deep dive. I went on a deep dive and looked at some of their releases. Yeah, that number is actually much lower than that. It's probably close to 40, between 20 and 40.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I didn't.
Now, a lot of those people who are uploading tracks, there's millions, there's maybe 70, 80 million tracks, a lot. And for you to be, if you have more than 1,000 subscribers, I think you're in the top 10%, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then if you have like more than 100,000 subscribers, you're in the top 1%. So there's a lot of music that is just not doing much
streamed,
and I understand from the artist creators like, fam, this is my music, I'm putting it out, I should deserve to get, even if it's 2 cents from it, I deserve my 2 cents. And Spotify is like, we are trying to curate our platform, and they probably want people to take it more seriously, and I also know that they're trying to avoid some of the payout problems, because it's harder to track all of those individual, So now, once you raise the threshold, that reduces the amount of people, labels, or whatever that you have to pay out to. So I do understand it, but I know that artists are never, ever going to agree with that. It's like, and I don't think it's right. I think...
Oh, so you're anti these changes?
I am for the change in terms of them trying to curb fraud and other business. Now, there's another aspect of it. What I don't agree with is, so as they do that, the people who are really going to benefit are, because the money that those songs are still generating money, they're just not going to pay to the artists. That I don't agree with. And then now the people who are going to benefit are the people the higher streaming people. So they're obviously going to divide that, and however they dissipate that money and evaporate it into different accounts and all that business.
Pro rata.
So yeah, I find that ridiculous. Like, why? Like, why? They need to find a model. I don't know how, but they need to find a model where artists get what they get. And I don't want to contribute to another artist's riches when my music should be streaming just as much.
I think the main thing is, I get that people have figured out how to manipulate the system by, like, for example, uploading songs that are just 31 seconds and then you get multiple streams, you generate a lot of income. I get that angle and it makes sense to me. I think when it comes to, like, the whole, you have to reach a certain threshold of streams before you get payouts, because people are saying that it's going to be around 200 streams. I think that's doable for even smaller artists. I feel like the amount of music that's going to be affected by that shift isn't necessarily huge.
Really?
No, sorry, it is huge.
Yeah.
It is huge, but it's not, like, a lot of artists won't be, I don't know if they'll be included in that. I feel like I saw a number somewhere that I saw a number there that's going to really affect 0.5% of the music that's been uploaded to Spotify. Like 99.5% of the music you're still going to get payouts, because most people generate 200 streams annually anyway. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's true though. I honestly feel like a majority of the songs that are uploaded on Spotify just sit there.
A lot of them do, but a lot of those that do are like, so essentially what Spotify are doing is they're protecting themselves from where we're going. And where we're going is a lot of AI generated stuff. Now, the stuff that's really generated by AI and stuff, those are the songs that go on Spotify and sit there and do nothing. You know what I mean? And I think Spotify is seeing that a lot of people are shifting into creating music via these platforms, Boomy and all those whatever AI platforms and stuff like that. So Spotify is kind of protecting themselves from that. But I also do do see the other side of the argument, which is as much as Spotify is doing that and kind of taking these monies from the smaller artists. Well, yeah, it is going to affect the smaller artists. I think Spotify is also like, it's kind of like in cahoots with like the big labels and stuff, because those guys and those artists represented by those labels will see bigger payouts. I think their plan is to pay out like an additional, like, is it like $1 billion or something, like to their now remaining 99.5% of artists who are releasing music, which is interesting. I think the biggest fear is it's harder for smaller artists to kind of thrive on Spotify's platform. But yeah, I don't know.
It's still unfolding. It's interesting. We'll see how it. I feel like Loki. This news was leaked to not leaked, but then was put out so that Spotify, because a lot of them do that so that they can feel the field and just get feedback on, okay, so that either one, maybe they can go back to the drawing board and figure out a better solution or a different solution, or number two, prepare themselves for the blowback immediately once they actually like put it in motion and everything. So, hey, listen, Spotify at the end of the day is a business and they are going to care about their money. As much as we're artists, we are using their service. So
And then also the one about penalizing the labels and the distributors of music who represent music that has undergone like fraudulent activity. That one is also going to be an interesting one to watch. Apparently they have very good systems in place. The question I have always is, but sometimes artists get their music unknowingly placed in some of these playlists that are part of streaming farms and stuff. Like, how do you then know that artist X, who's legitimate, didn't want their music included in a playlist that's, that's essentially a streaming farm kind of thing. Like, I don't know how they know.
The other question,
can distinguish between
the other
those
question.
things.
The question I have is, these guys are in bed with the labels, and the labels are obviously faking streams, the big ones. So, are we going to see something with that, or is it going to be we're penalizing the younger ones?
I have a theory that some of these Spotify playlists are streaming farms, but legitimate ones because they're Spotify playlists. But I don't have any proof for that.
It's payola everywhere in whatever way it is.
I don't have any proof for that, but this is actually a very big shift in the music industry. So this is very, very important news,
and it might open the door to a lot of other things, and then of course this is just Spotify. Of course Spotify is the poster child for streaming, but we have Apple, Tidal and all that business, so that might also affect how they do their business. So it's kind of huge. It is it's kind of
anyway
huge. Speaking of Spotify,
yes. Spotify and Daniel Ek. Yeah, speaking of Spotify, we saw new music was released this week
on Spotify and
other.
As on Spotify and other what are they called? Platforms, streaming. What do they call them? Streaming companies.
Streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, there was new music. My guy Rema dropped.
Bro went to Rema first.
Killy me. Sam, just say Killy me once.
I'm
just say
not
Killy
doing
me. Just do it once. Just do it once. Sam.
I'm not doing it.
Please, for the fans, for the people listening who would very much want
podcast.
And that's me. So Sam,
yes, you're the one who's yelling, screeching at the top of your voice. Rema's
what am I screeching? What am I screeching? Just remind me what I'm screeching. What is it that
bro thinks is slick? Can we talk about new music? Rema dropped an EP that Afam has been playing.
Yeah, but Sam,
non-stop.
gunshotty for bum shots. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you're listening, I hope you're finishing the lyric with me. Rema released his.
Bro went to look to the people for sympathy. Sorry,
not sympathy, for support.
Support.
I need these people to support me in my.
Yeah. I got you, man. Sorry, I couldn't be there for you in your time of need. Let's talk about new music.
Anyway, we'll just mention in passing. Obviously, I'm kind of addicted to that song, Red Potion from Rema's EP Ravage. But being that he's not Kenyan, so we will just we'll
sorry, Rema, you only get
just mention
half a second of playtime on this podcast.
Of airtime. Yeah. But yeah, Sam, there was new music, and I guess I'll just rattle through the things that I listened to because I listened to a bunch of stuff, but it wasn't too much that I listened to. So obviously the great Afam released music.
Whoever could that be the great Afam, you can't do that. You can't,
I don't know.
You
but
can't call
guys
yourself the
are
great
saying
Afam.
that guys are saying that he's kind of fire. So shout out to him. He released
shout out. You know what? I'm not going to always throw water on the fire. Shout out to him, whoever he is, since we are referring to him in the third person.
And then so you know how Afam is a great artist. Now there were like smaller artists like BN.
Of course. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Guys who you birthed. You're their OG.
Oh yeah, my sons.
Your
bro.
sons.
I'm their OG for sure. 100%.
Afam is BN's OG.
Oh my god. Anyway, BN released a song called Masheri.
Yeah. Masheri, my Sherry,
yeah.
My Sherry. Yeah,
so that you'll sing for. Yeah. Wow.
Stop catching feelings. Relax.
Wow. You did that to spite me.
Yeah. Yes.
It's fine.
Yes, I did.
Congratulations to the second entrant into the colors.
Entrant.
I don't know. Entry.
Entrant.
Into
entrant. The second
That's the name of the podcast.
That's horrible, man.
The second
entry.
Anyway, Xenia Manasseh, Big Z, she released with Colors Wild Ride. Also, Sam, it has been reported that Karun is going to be dropping a Colors episode, which to you guys listening, this already happened. So shout out to her because that's coming out today. But for you listening the day after yesterday. Yeah, no, the day before yesterday.
I'm sitting here and I'm even confused. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, I'm very confused now. So yeah, Xenia released Wild Ride with Colors. Congratulations to her, man. Kenyan R&B is thriving. Shout out to Monica again for setting that up. We had Perfect Design by Nyashinsky. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't necessarily for me, but Nyashinsky's out there releasing music. Keep on chugging along. Then I also listened to Zimesho by Umoja Sounds and Mutoria. Didn't mind it. I listened to Oasis by Chef Barry, Mao, and Akane. I haven't really heard too much about Akane, but I have heard about Chef Barry a lot. Mao, of course, we know him because he's one of our own. And then, listen to Do You Mind
by Just a Band.
From Echo.
This release was a lot more EDM-y. They've been tapping into a more alternative-ish type bag recently, but this is more like Just a Band's sort of soundish. I guess the new old sound. It's fire. Yeah, I listened to that, and then obviously I listened to Tinde by Labdi, and bruh, she knocked the socks out of that song. It was essentially just What are you trying to say?
Why are you looking at me like that?
And I'm trying to figure what are you trying to say? She knocked the socks out of that song. That's what you said. Is that what you meant to say? All right, sorry. Let me stop bullying you. My bad. I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're trying to say.
Fine. She knocked it out of the park, which is
she knocked the socks out of the park. I'm still talking about socks.
No, it. I said it. She knocked it out of the park.
Whatever it is.
So I actually didn't know about Labdi I didn't know too much about her, but she released a project called Seche Johera. And man, she is sick. Like her vocals were crazy. I was just like, bruh, she's super talented.
The EP was good.
And that's
the EP was good. Went through. I like the last track. The last track on the EP. I can't really pick out the name right now, but I like the last track on the EP.
I love the artwork on this one, man. I think it's sick. But anyway, that's what I listened to, bro. What did you listen to?
Cool. I honestly zoomed through some stuff. Nino Gotch released Safari. That was cool. I really like Kwema by Idaziz. That's one. I think that's up there for me in terms of some of the EDM joints. I think
Idaziz always comes through.
Yeah, it just worked. His vocals with the beat, and it's like very. it's very not. It keeps moving, like it's constantly, and he breaks that with his chants and everything, and I just think it worked really well. Fuzak Tinador released a joint that was cool. Sophie and Zhao released, I think, 2 tracks, if I'm not wrong. She's working.
Work it.
That was dope also. Man, I don't know if I listened to so much more though. Big Pin. I was actually interested in Big Pin. Big Pin and Wood Baba.
Big Pin.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this guy is releasing music. So it was interesting listening to that and going back and seeing what he's been doing recently. I actually want to sit down and go like into I think he released an album 2021 that I was not.
Yeah.
He's been in the studio once. There's a song that he was in the studio and we're working on his song. I don't know whether it came out yet, but then that's cool. Big Pin is like a name that man, being part of the golden era of Kenyan music must be interesting when you're trying to come back. Oh man. Reason by Young and Busy and Lil Minor, that was cool. Lil Minor, of course, is a favorite for a lot of people. Wamuyu released an EP. I went through it. It was all right. Some parts were really good. Some parts maybe were not necessarily for me, but shout out to her. I think that's really what. Oh, Kawi by Gleb, Filipchenko and Mongeli. I like that specific song. It's more old schoolish house, but I really like the vibe of that. So give that a listen also. I think she released a 2-track, or I don't know who that person is. They released a 2-track EP. With both Gleb and Mongeli on it. So yeah, that's dope. That's really and Rema.
And Rema.
And listen to Rema.
Are you gonna finish the lyric?
No, not.
Gunshotty for bumshot.
What are we playing? But you see, the thing is, you've listened to that album so many times. I honestly don't know the rest of the lyrics. I genuinely do not know the lyrics of the lyrics you want me to. I have no idea what that guy was talking about, but it sounded cool. And that's
what I'm telling you. All you need to say is "Killy me." Okay, let's try it again. Gang shotty for bum shot. Iye.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to say it. That's the thing. Afam, I'm not going to say it. Can we move along, please?
Yes, we're moving along. And I want to suggest we play Tinde by Labdi. I think that was an amazing song.
Fire.
So yeah, I'd love to play Labdi for the first time on the 30% podcast.
Hey, your debut.
Go.
that was Tinde by Labdi. Shout out to her. She is fire. I think seeing her live would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, she just strikes me as one of those people who would be an amazing person to watch live.
Yep.
But yeah,
Fire
Sam, that was episode 49, bro. We're going to episode 50, man. It's kind of crazy, bro. Like, we have done
doing this 50
half
episodes.
A century of worth of episodes.
You keep saying
now,
that.
Man. And you keep saying that. I keep saying that, bro.
All right, let's leave it then.
I can play that game, bro.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Whoa, why are you getting spicy at the end of the podcast now?
Yeah.
Why are you getting spicy at me? I don't like your tone, young man.
I can, bro.
I don't like your tone.
Young man. Actually, yeah. It's relative. Anyway, let me not start throwing shots. Guys, thank you guys so much for listening. We always appreciate you guys. We do this for you. And listen.
We do.
Why are you laughing?
We do. No, I'm agreeing with you.
You're going to make me sound like I'm not being genuine.
No, no, that's not what I'm agreeing with you. It's just a funny statement. We do this for you. I agree with you. We do this for y'all. Okay. All of y'all.
Yeah. We do this for y'all, man. We do this podcast for y'all. And yeah, guys, as we said, always 30% podcast. We formed this podcast because we would like more Kenyan music highlighted.
Yep.
And I think we're well on the way to achieving that. So thank you guys for listening. And wow, we're gonna see you next on the big episode 50.